right, thank you for staying with the State of the Nation right here on Citizen TV. My guests are with me, Samson Cherargei, Senator for Nandi, Jared Okello, Member of Parliament for Nyando, Eric Okeyo, Governance and Security Expert, and Joe Nyutu, Senator for Murang'a. We're now talking about matters politics here in the country. We had talked about Tanzania, and now we're back home. I had a conversation yesterday, actually the day before yesterday, with the party leader, the acting party leader for ODM, Dr. Oburu Oginga, and he said very interesting things. Among one of the things that he said is that the President, William Ruto, is welcome to rejoin ODM, and even if he does, he will still be subjected to competition to be the flag bearer of that party in the 2027 elections. Before we go anywhere, okay, let me start with you on this because you're the only one who's neutral on this one. The rest of them have partisan positions. Would that be... Should the President join ODM, and would that be the winning matrix for him in 2027?
Thank you, Trevor. I do not want to be a prophet of doom. I've taken time to read in The Nation the interview that you had with the Honorable Senator Dr. Oburu Oginga. There appears to be some frenzy of thought that if President Ruto were to run either on ODM or make some sort of relationship joining UDA and ODM, then he would sail home easy. Theirs would be a little more bumpy than is Samia's. The reason is ODM did not prepare well for its succession. The irony of your interview with Senator Dr. Oginga is that at over 80 years old, he has assumed leadership after his brother for a party that in its structure suggests that there were other deputy party leaders. Of the supposed young leadership, he so wishes well. If that were the case, any of those three deputy party leaders would have been the best to be acting party leader. The interesting thing about ODM is that all its officials have not gone through any test of approval by the membership of the party. Let me also disclaim that I am a life member of that party, even now.
So he's no longer neutral.
And just wait, Senator. From the now acting party leader to the deputies to the chair, to even secretaries, even this Jared, he will tell you he's secretary for something, but no one elected him. But he will tell you he's secretary for something in the party. And the danger is that that the support base of ODM has been waiting to breathe. As Raila rests in eternal peace, that part of the political divide wants to rebreathe. It now wants to say it can get leaders other than those that are in ODM, so long as they have track records of development and they have led. I can predict that many careers stand dead by the exit of Raila in 2027. In fact, Trevor, as you host me here, I can dare predict that these two by-elections in Ugunja and Kasipul, if ODM were to work very hard, they would get one. And no wonder the quick decision by the central management team is to attempt memorial rallies of the departed leader in the two constituencies that are facing by-elections. Why? Because the manner in which the party flag bearers were picked does easily not resonate well with the people. The danger is that now the people may actually say, Senator Nyutu said some Tanzanians told him they only have Samia because ni chama ya baba wa taifa aliyeaga, Mzee Kambarage Nyerere. There were times in Luoland you would be told anything will be elected so long as that thing was dressed in ODM. Even Jared, you see, he has come in an orange tie here. Because this was relevant at some point.
It's not anymore?
It's no longer relevant. And Jared knows. Most of these MPs are my friends. So off camera we speak. They resonate with my thinking. It's just that when we come here, they can't. You know, I saw two dangerous statements.
Yeah.
A member of parliament, again of ODM, saying on the day of the burial of the Honorable Raila Odinga, that my loyalty was to Raila. Thank God he has died before I betrayed him. Now I have transferred my loyalty to William Ruto, a leader of a competing political party. This same fellow goes and says somewhere, when there is talk of this government trying to trample on the emergence of political parties for democracy, that President Ruto called him and instructed him to put money for political parties. You know, this is an elected leader who belongs to a completely different arm of government, the legislator. He makes laws. He's now saying in public how he gets instruction from another arm, the executive, which he ordinarily superintends. Even if that call had come, that did not need to meet the public eye. And that's why I'm saying the death of Raila exposes want of leadership in some of the people who are in elected leadership, and particularly in the region I come from. And interesting times ahead.
Okay. So you don't think ODM will be relevant in most of those places?
No, it will not. It will not be relevant. And that's why I've told you, God giving us time beyond the by-elections, host us here after the by-elections. Okay. And I can dare tell you we'll be speaking differently.
Okay, let me bring in Joe on this, then I'll come to Cherargei and Okello. Will that be the winning matrix if the president rejoins or even forms a coalition with ODM into 2027? They've said so far that this until 2027, not beyond.
Well, Trevor, it will be remembered that during the burial of the late Honorable Prime Minister's bodyguard, you know, when Senator Sifuna, who happens to be the Secretary General of ODM, actually got very categorical about the pact that they signed. And, you know, Sifuna has been insisting that the 10-point agenda must be read for what it is and what it is not. I think that is what Sifuna has been saying. You remember that President Ruto, when he rose to speak during that ceremony, he told Secretary General Sifuna that he was supposed to go slow because being a founder member of ODM, he could actually, you know, ask for the removal of SG Sifuna. That and then the many things that he said during the burial of the Honorable Prime Minister again, that ODM will either form the next government or be part of the next government. It tells you that President Ruto has many plans to inherit or to use ODM for his re-election. And this is because he's desperate. And so I may not be surprised if he chooses to rejoin ODM in quotes because he's desperate. And Trevor, you know, when we come here, we must address matters wholesomely. And why is President Ruto so, you know, desperate that he's even thinking of rejoining ODM or suggesting that he can rejoin ODM? It's because he broke his party, UDA, that he kicked out his partners in UDA. And we must tell people, because, you know, most of the things that we do have an impact even elsewhere, that if you want to remarry, for example, Trevor, you do not have to divorce your first wife. that you can enter into a polygamous marriage without necessarily kicking out your first wife. Because these are things that are there, Trevor, that you break your family to get a new partner, for example, then the new partner sometimes will let you down. So I think what I'm trying to say is that why President Ruto is so desperate and for ODM support is because he has not held the membership of UDA as at the time of elections together. He thought he was too smart, too strong. He could do away with people. Then he gets the shock of his life when he thinks that the new outfit, the new partner, in this case ODM, he finds that, oh, the children really didn't embrace this particular marriage. It's only the mother that had embraced this particular marriage. And I'm referring to the events that unfolded at Nyayo Stadium during the funeral service of the late Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, because it was there for everybody to see. And for me, it doesn't matter what Jared will tell you, what Cherargei will tell you. We observed the ODM rank and file showed at Uhuru Park, because most of the people that attended that generally were ODM supporters. They showed by the way they reacted and by the way they received the different guests, they showed that they are not in broad-based government, or at least they do not appreciate President Ruto because of the way they received Uhuru Kenyatta, the way they were cold towards William Ruto. It showed that only ODM leaders have embraced broad-based government, and not all of them. The ODM rank and file have not. So that then makes President Ruto to decide to go back to the drawing board. So he is desperate for. I know I'm saying that for the longest.
Yeah.
But to conclude,
yeah,
even if he rejoins ODM, Trevor, political support is never transferable. And political parties, just like somehow CCM of Tanzania,
yeah,
the supporters of a political party mostly are those who subscribe to the philosophy and ideals of the party leader,
okay,
not the party manifesto. Okay. And so those who subscribed to the ideals of Raila Amolo Odinga may not necessarily, subscribe to the philosophy and ideals of William Ruto. And finally, it also means that some other parties, and I think I share with Eric, some other parties, especially, there is a party of David Ochieng in Luo Nyanza, MDG. I think such a party, if David Ochieng now, rebrands that party, and it can have, it can be able to get some support from within the ODM support base.
Okay, let me hear your thoughts on this. Is that a conversation that is being had in your circles? Because we know that you've invited the president for ODM at 20, and he has confirmed attendance. Kalonzo Musyoka rejected attendance, in as much as he was also invited. So is that a conversation that you're having, that the president should vie with ODM? And I ask this because even during the funeral of the late Raila Amolo Odinga, there were statements that were made from both sides. ODM will either form government or be part of government.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Trevor. The very reason why I donned this tie, which is orange in color, and coincidentally, my brother Cherargei, even though not an ODM member, chose to also don the orange color, as a sign of good things to come.
Correct.
So Cherargei has also joined ODM.
Yeah, well, we continue to commiserate with the Raila family.
Yeah.
Mama Aida and the children, the larger Odinga family, the Republic of Kenya, the Africa, because Baba was a Pan-Africanist, and the world at large, pouring messages of condolences came from, wide and breadth of not just this continent, but the whole world. So we hope that Baba's soul is resting easy in the cosmos. And when Jesus Christ will come to take us back home,
what is cosmos? Too heavy.
We will see Baba again. Yeah. I liked what the SG in his press statement immediately after the very first Central Committee. that Baba has joined the nearest ODM branch in heaven. So probably ODM is not just an earthly party. We may also have to enjoy the trappings of power in heaven via ODM. Therefore, those who are in ODM probably have higher chances of getting into heaven than those who are not. I believe and I hope. So, but you know, let's step back a bit. How many times has Baba been killed before his real death? Many times. You remember there is a time when people carried a miniature casket to Lee Funeral Home, symbolizing Baba's death.
Yeah.
When he was still alive, you know, just before Baba passed on, he called us as ODM members of Parliament, Senate, and part of our executive. And he played a video of a woman leader in Mount Kenya region saying they have incessantly prayed for Baba to die because he is successively in regimes, successively. And therefore, Baba died many times in the minds of many before his actual death. Just when he already died, the Nyeri governor, not doctor because he cannot be.
Mwalimu Kahiga.
Mwalimu Kahiga, you know, said how they were in a celebratory mood over the death of Baba. So even at death, people still continue to kill him. What amount of hatred can particular people exhibit on a leader? And out of those stresses, Baba died.
Is that a people thing or an individual thing? Because most of the
well,
people
he later
distanced themselves from what Kaiga is saying. In fact, he's even facing a censure motion. There's even a leader who's gone to court to declare unfit
to hold public office. Yeah.
So it's just his opinion, not the people.
So I didn't say I did not generalize as a community. I actually pinpointed particular names. I said a leader. A woman leader from the Mount region, and Mr. Kaiga. But at least the COG, took a drastic action to remove him from being deputy chair. But that is the journey that Baba has walked. All those things stressed him until he died in India, and we continue praying for the family. But we hope that Baba's death will create a new reflection, that the country will step back and reflect deeply so that we can embrace this country and move as one. Because again, even though Baba remained immortal in our souls, everybody is mortal. So you may have all the differences with the people, but you know your time is also limited on this planet. So we would rather leave it a better place, the way Baba tried all his best. On the converse, ODM party, Baba mentored so many. And your interview with Dr. Buru 2 days ago alluded to that. That there are many young people, including myself, who are looking at Baba as our alma mater, because Baba was an institution by all fronts. In fact, the fourth arm of government. But now that Baba has died, the media has come to take care of that fourth arm, that is why you are called the fourth estate. And we hope you guys will do a good job, as ODM also does a good job.
The fourth estate. That's a story for another day.
To oversight the government. Yeah. ODM was formed in the year 2005. It was formed by William Ruto, Najib Balala, the late Joe Nyaga, Baba, and many others, plus the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Since 2005 to date, our party has remained very strong and focused, carrying out its cardinal responsibilities in a way that is responsive to the plight of the Kenyan citizenry. Baba died exactly 2 weeks ago. It is too early to really determine the future of ODM post-Baba. In our wisdom, and I sit in the National Executive Committee, and my brother Okeo has made that reference, as the Secretary of Public Policy and Economic Affairs, public policy.
He says nobody elected you to that seat.
Yeah, I will come to that. Because that is very
because we don't have time.
Because I cannot just wake up and become a public policy maker or a secretary of ODM. But we know that through our wisdom, we enthroned Dr. Oburu Odinga's neck to steer the ship.
And he mentioned that he did not ask to be put there.
He did not. He was not
surprised.
even there. Yeah. But we are 42 in the National Executive Committee. We scanned the environment and we settled on him.
Why? And yet you are deputy party leader.
Thank you.
Because of many, many things put together. You remember, firstly, is Raila's brother. Many, many times Raila consulted Dr. Oburu Odinga. Many, many times. He's a staunch ODM member. He carries the history. Some of us were very young in 2005 when ODM party was being formed. Oburu was at the center of things when it was being formed. Now, ODM has an arrangement with the Kenya Kwanza administration. Who is best to articulate ODM's issues even as we engage with the Kenya Kwanza government, apart from Oburu Odinga? So those are the many, many issues that we looked at that qualified him to be. But if there was anybody else who could have done it better than Oburu Odinga, you know, we are going through our National Delegates Conference, the last organ that will enthrone him. After that, then he will be substantive party leader. Up to now, he's still the acting party leader. So if there is anybody out there who thinks that he has better credentials than Oburu Odinga, and ODM stands for democracy, we will give you an opportunity to sell your policies. And there...
Is the president welcome to run with your ticket?
The president is welcomed to run in ODM. ODM firstly has 1.4 million officials drawn from the grassroots all the way up. ODM has 7 million members, paid up members, and ODM has an array of supporters. One person joining a political outfit is a welcomed idea. And if President Ruto would want to run through ODM party, we welcome him. But just as my party leader did say, Dr. Oburu Odinga, there are people who are also angling to run for presidency under the auspices of ODM party. So he will have to contend with internal competition. If he wins, fine. If he does not, and he shall have joined our party, then he will have to support whoever wins against him. Now, why is that? President Ruto, up to date, belongs to UDA party. UDA party was a conglomeration of supporters of the dethroned or impeached former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, who is now DCP party leader, together with President Ruto. So they came together in some unison. Now, one side has already pulled out. DCP, who represented by my friend here, Nyutu, who propagates policies of DCP, which is also bad manners, because the Political Parties Act is very particular. That if you align with a different political outfit that sponsored you into an elective position, you are deemed to have resigned from that party. Now, way back in 90s, when our democracy had not even matured, Baba decamped Ford Kenya and subjected himself to another round of election. But now that we have a mature democracy, people like my friend Nyutu just move from one political outfit to another without repercussions. They ought to have resigned en masse from parliament to face the electorate if they are that popular. But we have these political bad manners that people just decamp in violation of our Political Parties Act, which is a very strong instrument to govern
Let me hear what
political
Gerard Gase
parties.
say about this, then I'll give you a chance to respond to that, because you've mentioned him advancing. So, Gerard Gase?
Positively, not advancing.
I think, I want to wish Dr. Oburu Odinga all the best as the acting party leader. I want to commend the ODM Central Committee and ask that the ODM and National Governance Council and all structures to confirm him as the party leader, so that he can have sweeping powers to put the house in order. Especially we have seen people who try to sabotage the partnership between Kenya Kwanza and ODM, and I'm happy Jared is not one of them. And I can assure you, in the coming rearrangement within ODM, Jared Okello will be one of the senior officials, probably Secretary General of ODM.
What happens to
So no, the ODM will handle that issue when it crosses that bridge, and we wish him well. Secondly is that we are proud that by the time, unfortunately, Right Honorable Raila Odinga left us. By the way, I agree that ODM was Raila and Raila is ODM. And that is why the shadow and legacy of Raila will live on beyond his own grave. And therefore, I agree that there are many reasons as to why Oburu Oginga was being settled. One, he's old, he's wise, he's man who is level-headed. If you have sat, and I'm happy when you conducted that interview, you could see he's a level-headed, he's mature. If you had given some of these young people to run ODM, they would run at 360 kilometers per hour, and the whole thing would crash. So you needed somebody who could steady, because it is uncertain times for the ODM, for the country. We have a partnership between ODM and UDA. So what I want to ask is that ODM is our party. Some of us were founders of ODM, and even the President, William Ruto, also is a founder of ODM. I think what we can say, and I want to assure the country, I've had assertions here being made that UDA is broken because people who are trying to sabotage the president's agenda was removed from the party, especially was impeached from the party. Or UDA is still intact. And by the way, you ask us why is the elections in Kenya, not in Kenya or Africa, not free and fair? Because of bad manners of some individuals. Political parties' act is very clear. The moment you disagree with your sponsoring party, like the way our gentlemen led by the impeached deputy president are doing, you just take the honor, tender resignation to the Senate Speaker or National Assembly or to the IEBC, go for your self-elections like Raila Amolo Odinga. Then come back, then we know you are a real man. But these people don't have still whatever to resign and face the electorate, Trevor. Number 3, and finally, I'm happy. You know, they say when somebody is drunk or grieving, they always say the truth. And you remember the CSOPO and I, while eulogizing the ODM Supremo, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, he said Raila told them, and I know Jared, that this was the ever genuine honor and agreement between a sitting president. And that is why, unlike 2018 handshake of Uhuru Kenyatta, who never stepped out to campaign for Raila, he only campaigned once here in Nairobi. Yeah. He never went to Mulima to campaign for him. Was the only genuine political arrangement that ODM was honored, and that is why they have 4 cabinet secretaries and a number of senior appointments in government. Okay. Unlike the handshake then. Yeah. So I'm happy that Opio, CS Opio and I indicated that Raila Odinga told them that this is the genuine arrangement they have ever been. Number 4, Trevor, it is also with a lot of tremendous respect and honor that by the time, unfortunately, Raila passed on, he ensured, and I want to believe it's part of the succession in ODM, he ensured that the ODM was in government. Yeah. And I want to say on this show, there is no party that is formed to be in opposition. And that is why the DCP adherents, Wamunyora adherents, are uncomfortable by saying, why is ODM in government? Yet they are not saying any political party is formed either to form government or be part of government. And I want to thank the ODM leadership because they have insisted in 2027 they will either be in government or form part of government. And that is the essence of any political party that you have. I don't know why people have a problem when ODM is in government or form part of government. And it is unfortunate that it's part faith. And I must be on record because you are 40 state and you covered. The same people who tried to correct ODM and say ODM and UDA should not work together are the same people when Raila was sick, they were celebrating on top of their vehicles. And you have those clips, including some of their associates. You know, the governor of Nyeri is a close associate of former deputy president, former impeached deputy president. It is on record. They are very close friends. Even on many several occasions, even that women leader are close associates. That they are even celebrating the death of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. It is even an African, It is uncultured, it is uncouth, it is illegal, it is unconstitutional to celebrate the death of Raila Amolo. Let me have time, because I have listened to this gentleman for some time, Trevor. So finally, anyway, because I know that is the question, so that I don't want to be selfish, is I can assure you, UDA and ODM and other Kenya Kwanza affiliates will work beyond 2027 to form government for the second term of President William Ruto's administration.
So is there a new coalition coming up?
It will be there.
Okay.
This partnership will be extended to coalition that will work in. So, and I know this united opposition will not match the political strength between UDA and ODM. And any person who is uncomfortable with this arrangement, either in UDA or ODM, they are free to take a walk. There's
something that Cherargei alluded to, appointments. Is it time now then that we've seen alleged shake-ups of the cabinet coming up? Is it time now for new appointments, and does that have an impact on the political outcome, or is this just leaders sharing positions for themselves?
Trevor, thank you. That's a very important question. I didn't actually see it coming, but thank you. You know, the irony of all this is the conduct of the Cherargei of this world, who now think that their relationship with ODM, and more especially that the unfortunate death of Raila, gives them advantage over the future. I want to ask that we let Raila just rest in peace. Just let them rest in peace and then deal with these issues. Political parties, the only time I think I will ever agree with Cherargei is that political parties are formed to form government. They are created to form government. That's the only statement Cherargei has made that is factual. But you know the interesting thing, they mock ODM for celebrating 20 years of losing elections. Because what is ODM celebrating at 20? At 20 of doing what? At 20 of just losing elections and then joining those governments from the behind door. There's nothing worth celebrating. And it is now being used as a very unfortunate endeavor to win sympathy in the name of the death of Raila Odinga. And I say, let Raila rest in peace. Some of these people are our students. This Jared is my political student. Ask him how he joined politics. He will tell you it has everything to do with me. This one. So, political parties must form government. If they lose elections for 20 years, they have nothing to celebrate for. And, you know, Cherargei, and let me say this, the Honorable Mutahi Kahiga has been condemned by every political leader from that region. Can we let his statements be attributed to him? NCIC have summoned him. I don't think that we can come on TV to despise our whole community because of the carelessness of one of its leaders. And then finally, Cherargei lives in Mass. He doesn't live in Kenya. Because does Cherargei know that the leaders, the members who are elected on DCP but are from Mount Kenya region, are still capable of resigning en masse as he is daring them? Does he know it is possible? Does he imagine that that would be a mini general election for this country a year to elections? Is the government ready for that consequence? Would
elected on UDA.
And would ODM shield it from that danger? That recklessness that Cherargei is displaying here is risky, is dangerous. Actually, it should be the other way around. Why can't they expel them? How can they go through the motions of expelling the Newtos of this world, all of them who are elected on UDA and are now DCP protagonists?
Yeah.
The consequence will be dire. And as I conclude, Trevor, there has also been talk of kingpin. Kenya does not need kingpins. The Jackson Angaines of Meru went. Meru is just there. You remember Mulu Mutisia of Ukambani? Kalonzo has now been trying to be president all the years. He's never been Kamba kingpin. Even Lowland will just organize itself along the way. Okay. Let us just take the consequences right. And I can tell you, facing the future, if you ask me today, I had an opportunity of attending the Wiper NDC the other day. Someone sent me an invite and I went. And I'm one of those Kenyans who had never taken Kalonzo seriously. But my friend, when he spoke, I came out of that venue saying, would it actually be his moment? Because watching President Ruto in Molo in very cold weather, pledging 20,000 to IDPs to start life, I nearly shed a tear. What is 20,000? Relaunching, cutting ribbons and relaunching projects that were relaunched by his predecessor 10 years, 11 years ago. The only other thing Ruto said that is true is that Kenya is no longer a country hosting fools. Wajinga, Waliisha, they are not there. Even in Nandi, where Cherargei comes from.
Okay. All right. Let me hear what you to us to say. You know, there was an accusation that you need to resign. Is that something you talked about or thought about?
Thank you, Trevor, and I pray that you give me a little latitude, because I've been made the object by two brilliant legislators, Jared and Cherargei. But allow me to first tell Jared, because Jared is my very good friend. Even Cherargei, I have actually been to Cherargei's home in Nandi.
Correct.
So we only differ, you know, in political ideology.
Good. Correct.
I mean, tell Jared that let's not make fun of heaven. You know, there are some things that we need to be very serious about. To say that, I mean, there'll be trappings of power by ODM in heaven. Jared, because you're my friend, please avoid making such jokes. They are dangerous jokes, because all of us, you know, we live by the grace of God, and we must respect, you know, spiritual matters. And Jared, in case your pastor did not tell you, let me tell you that going to heaven, you only need one vehicle, not a political party, but it's your holiness, you know, your faith. No other vehicle. And Jared, my brother, I pray that you may refer to your faith once again, in case you have lost it. Jared has also talked about, and I'm glad that Eric has talked about that. Jared has referred to Kahiga, Mutahi Kahiga of Nyeri. And one, he says one member of parliament, a lady from Mount Kenya, I know whom he is referring to, but because he did not mention her name, I also won't mention her name. And I want to tell Jared and Cherargei that though they are desperate in maligning the community where I come from for President Ruto's interests, but kindly let any particular member of any community carry their own cross. You know, when Farah Maalim, you know, referred to women in a very derogatory way, somewhere in the presence of President Ruto, and President Ruto did not condemn those statements, and everybody remembers where it was. I think it was in Uasin Gishu. Nobody attributed those remarks to the Somali community where Farah Maalim comes from. People must be made to carry their own crosses. I mean, Mutahi Kahiga, if you ask me, should not even be governor of Nyeri by now. In fact, he should have resigned as governor, not as vice chair of the Council of Governors, because what he said was very reckless, and we have condemned that. And I have said, and this is true, that no one is immortal. So you cannot celebrate anybody's death, not even your worst enemy. No one is immortal. I mean, we are all mortal human beings. And number two, nobody is death exempt. A death will surely come to anybody, and everybody, only the time remains a mystery. But as per the certainty of the happening, or the coming of death, that is there for everybody. So please, Jared and your ilk, and I saw you in that meeting where Gladys Wanga was bringing Rigathi Gachagua into the sentiments of Mutahi Kahiga. Please, desperate as you are, to please your suitor, please leave us alone. Let Mutahi Kahiga carry his own cross. Let the lady member of parliament carry her own cross. I've been here very many times, Trevor.
Yeah.
Even with Jared, when Raila Amolo Odinga was alive. And I have always indicated the respect, and Jared will agree with me, the respect with which I held Raila Amolo Odinga. And I've said here that people may have, maligned Baba or something, but Joe Newton has never done that. And I've said that it's because of the many fights that he had. I mean, the many rights that he fought for, which enable us today to express ourselves without the fear that when I get out there, I'll be arrested by a police officer or a group of them. And so please, let Mutahi Kahiga and Mama, the lady MP, carry their cross and leave the rest of the members of the community alone. Now, Jared, both Jared and Cherargei have said that it's bad manners for me to propagate, DCP ideology. And it's bad manners, and both of them have said that I should resign, or we should resign and face the electorate again. Well, when I listened to them, I was like, oh my goodness. The hypocrisy by some politicians, it is thinking. Jared today supports William Ruto. Cherargei today supports William Ruto in a way that is even embarrassing. William Ruto differed with the President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2018. He was called upon by everybody to resign from UDA and resign as deputy president. He did not resign. And when you hear Cherargei say that we should resign and face the electorate to show that we are man enough, I want to tell Cherargei today, he's supporting somebody who is not man enough. Because he supports President Ruto in an irritating way. And William Ruto, if by differing with the party leader, then he should resign. William Ruto did not resign for 4 years, and he clung onto his current office. According to Cherargei, anybody who does not resign is not a real man. Cherargei, today, you are following a man who is not a real man. So go and ask him whether he's a real man, because he did not resign. If real men are determined by resigning when you differ with the party leader. And I want to tell Cherargei.
But by that measure, does that also mean you are not a real man?
No. I'm saying, by the way, I don't care whether Cherargei calls me a real man or not.
No, it's by your own standard. You said that if other parties that they didn't resign, they're not real men.
Yes, I'm saying.
And for you?
Yes, I'm just saying, if that is a measure by Cherargei, then he should go and tell him that he's not a real man, because according to Cherargei, real men resign from parties when they differ with their party leaders. And I can tell you, it is not UDA that I differ with. I differ with the party leader, his policies, his behaviors, his mannerisms. He's taking people for granted. He's lying without battling, an eyelid. Those are the things that we differ with. Okay. And I've heard Cherargei talk about Wamunyoro ideology. And I had a problem with him in the Senate yesterday.
Yeah. In fact, there was an altercation.
Yes, there was an altercation between me and Senator Cherargei yesterday in the House. Yeah. Because, you see, Senator Cherargei supports, and I'm saying, when I say he supports William Ruto in an irritating and in an embarrassing way, because now, you see, he says, he does not even make references to reality. He says that Mutahi Kahiga and that lady MP are supporters of Rigathi Gachagua. He does not even know what is happening. Mutahi Kahiga and that lady MP he's talking about are supporters of William Ruto. And I can even dare you. Yes, they are supporters of William Ruto, especially the lady MP he's talking about. Is a supporter of William Ruto today. She was a supporter of Rigathi Gachagua by the time Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. But she no longer supports William Ruto. Rigathi Gachagua. She supports William Ruto. Mutahi Kahiga supports William Ruto, does not support Rigathi Gachagua. So if the sentiments of Kahiga and that lady were to be associated with the people they support, that person who celebrated the death of Raila Amolo Odinga, then it would be William Ruto and not Rigathi Gachagua, because these are his supporters.
Do you remember the headline that was drawn by Mutahi? In fact, some people referred to it as Kama Mbaya Mbaya.
That time.
So now it's...
That time, remember even Rigathi Gachagua at one time really supported William Ruto.
So Mutahi was supporting...
Yes, that time, yes.
Gachagua,
but he doesn't.
But now he's
him
supporting
and Kojiru Wambogu. Wow. They aren't. They are now supporting William Ruto.
So they've left your camp and went back.
That must be made clear.
Okay. So, but we've not seen the support.
But allow me to just finish.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and Okeo, Eric has put it very well.
Yeah.
If UDA is not happy with the Joe Nyoto continuing being a member and senator from Murang'a, let UDA remove me from their list of members. And I challenge both Jared and Cheralge, go and tell the party leader of UDA, we are waiting.
Yeah.
Go and tell William Ruto to remove me. I'm talking about myself. To remove me as a member of UDA. I will
why do you want to be removed? Why don't you resign?
You want because
remove yourself.
Fine.
Why don't you resign? Why do you have
That's
to
a very good question. Goge Wadiongo wrote, I will marry when I want.
Okay.
I'll remove myself when I want. Not when I'm told.
Okay.
Not when I'm told. And
so it's a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Okay.
When I want, not when Jared or Cheralge tell me. In fact, one singer, a vernacular singer from my place said, I will marry when I want.
Okay.
Because the Catholic priest has always lived without a wife, so I'll marry when I want. Because Catholic nuns are there. They have lived without getting married. I will marry when I want. I will leave UDA when I want.
Okay.
But if they want me to leave earlier, let them tell the party leader to remove me, the party to remove me. I'll be more than glad. I've been removed as chair of education. I still survive. Okay. They can go ahead, remove me as a member of UDA. And at that time, I would then face the electorate.
All right.
But for Jared, Jared, finally, please, as your party, because this is there for everybody to see, even while they blast Rigathi Gachagua, even out of no reason at all. That if you think that Rigathi Gachagua is an enemy of ODM because of maybe some things that he said against the late Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, and you want to give that as a reason for blasting Rigathi Gachagua, please, for once, Kenyans are smart. Nobody ever said worse things about the late Raila Amolo Odinga than William Ruto. So if you are supporting William Ruto and praising him as a very good president, but Rigathi Gachagua, too, very bad because he said maybe one or two things against the late Honorable Prime Minister, then Kenyans can see that you are not genuine and that you are only praising William Ruto because of the goodies that he's giving you. Because if it is about attacking Raila Amolo Odinga, nobody ever said bad, nasty things about Raila Amolo Odinga than William Ruto himself. So let them be fair.
All right, you all have 2 minutes each for closing remarks and you'll be timed. So I'll show you here. So 2 minutes, I'll start with you, Jared. 2 minutes on the dot.
Well, I think I'll have to tone down my usage of English words because what can be referred to me is on the issues that he has raised over heaven. I said cosmos, Raila's soul is in cosmos. Cosmos is not heaven. In astronomical sense, cosmos means the universe. So the universe cannot be equated to heaven. In fact, my reference on heaven, is what the SG said. That we hope he has joined the nearest ODM branch in heaven. I was making reference to somebody else. As a Christian, I know the boundaries that we have to safeguard on our deliberations. Otherwise, it may turn out to be ugly in the eyes of the heavenly kingdom. So, but I'll have to really try to bring down my English. But in my schooling journey, these are the words that we met. These are the words that we kept on coming across.
You have a minute.
So we have absolutely no regret. But let me put it into context. President Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president, really helped Raila Odinga to clinch presidency in the last elections. He has never been met by Kenyans who are ardent supporters of Raila to thank him for the support that never yielded fruits, but at least he did. So when they met him for the first time at Nyayo Stadium and in Bondo, they could only cheer him as a sign of thank you. You tried, we failed, but you did your best. So that can never be equated to now ODM supporters rallying behind Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru cannot stand for anything now.
Correct.
In fact, we have since moved. We are working with President Ruto, and we hope Dr. Oburu Odinga, in the next round of negotiations, he will negotiate with no one else but William Ruto.
Okay.
So that we...
Your time is up.
Either in government or from that government.
Thank you, Jared. All right. Gerard Gay, 2 minutes.
You know, the gentleman has referred to me more than 100 times, but I will condense because of, you know, I want to dare, you know, most of the MCAs in Nyeri owe their allegiance to Wamunyoro, to Rigathi, the impeached deputy president. If they are genuine about removing Kahiga, can the deputy president, former impeached deputy president, summon them to Wamunyoro and direct them to impeach Kahiga, so that we can come and confirm in the Senate? Number two, when you support somebody, you said Kahiga, Muranga senator, and all others are adherents of Wamunyoro. Number two, by the way, we have numbers. If Wamunyoro had numbers, why did 80% of parliament remove him? So there will be no mini election. If they resign today, I can tell you in Muranga it will be one senator only resigning, maybe in Nyeri another one. So they don't form any tangible numbers, because in any case, we impeached him with over 80% of parliament. There will be no mini election. Number three, I'm telling you, the president who is the party leader of UDA is busy transforming this country as opposed to expelling some errand members. And that is why I'm daring them. If they believe in the true democracy and they are popular on the ground, can they resign? Can they resign if they are men and women enough? They are not. They can't dare. And I want to assure them, you know, the disciplinary process of the party will do their job, but I want to assure them the party leader is busy transforming this country. And I want to correct Mr. Yesterday when the president said we'll give them 20,000, the IDPs in Dabibi and within Naivasha, was because most of those people have been given land by government, and just to give them 20,000 as the stipend to start their lives. Finally, is that the president is on course. When you go to Muranga, the affordable housing. When you go the roads, Mau Mau roads, across the country, including Kisumu. So what I want to say in upshot, because time is up, is that the president will continue transforming this country and ignore the naysayers and doomsayers.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Trevor. You know, you asked me about the impending reshuffle. There is now talk that President William Ruto, he who said Kenya could do without dynasties, is considering bringing on board his cabinet Gideon Moi, and the latest rumor, a member of the Raila Odinga family. I don't know what else to say on his feeling on dynasties before. While I sympathize with my friend Senator Joe Nyutu and his region, they must have now tasted their own medicine, because President Kenyatta, during the sunset of his own leadership, said, "My deputy unfit to lead." But the Joe Nyutu said, "You go." And I have said here, Trevor, that let us not celebrate potential advantage of the Raila death. Yesterday, President Ruto said this: "Wale wa masufuria kwa kichwa wametuondokea."
Those are fake news.
We did not see that. That is not true. That
please, you are a man who is
There
respectable.
was no sound bite on that.
Please don't
be
part of propaganda.
Let us not celebrate that. Let's let Raila rest. And I am praying for Kenya so that when we get to elections, it would be issue-based.
Amen.
All right. Thank you very much. You too?
Very quickly, just I forgot to say that Cherargei said that Wamunyoro adherents are asking why ODM is in government. I want to ask him to go and refer to his notes, if he keeps any, we have never had a problem with ODM joining government because we never voted for Raila Amolo Odinga, and so we have had no claim against Raila Amolo Odinga because we did not vote for him. Our problem has always been William Ruto, whom we voted for, and who, of course, did what he did 3 years under the bus and has been insulting us all along, calling us tribalists. For Jared, he says that the reception of Uhuru Kenyatta at Nyayo Stadium was because the ODM supporters have never had time to meet Uhuru Kenyatta to thank him for the support that he gave Raila Amolo Odinga. But Jared forgot conveniently that Ruto had gave Raila Amolo Odinga actually a state bureau. And so they could have celebrated him for that more than Uhuru, who did whatever he did and actually was not able to make Raila president. And so I think let us not be economical with the truth. And finally, we started by condemning Tanzania, saying how undemocratic it is. I would have wanted to hear Jared and Cherargei talk about lack of democracy at home also, because you cannot praise a despot. Praise somebody, praise somebody who is violating human rights, even abductions, killings at home, and you are there, condemning, a president of a foreign country. So let people be fair, be reasonable. You cannot condemn your neighbor when at home your house is burning.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for making time. That's the state of the nation, and we've discussed a lot of things, but we're taking a quick break now. When we come back, it's time for Cooking Tips. Thank you all for making time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.